Another visitor? You must be here to join in the plunder of the old Jedi Enclave. You'll have to see Administrator Adare first. You're one of the salvagers, right? Your ship looks banged up enough to be part of that lot, but you look different. Then who are you? The only recent visitors we've had on Dantooine have been salvagers and a slew of mercenaries. Just to see the sights, right? You're just another salvager. Go see Administrator Adare in Khoonda if you want to get into the ruins. Khoonda is the big building just outside the landing port. It used to be the estate of a man named Matali, but he and his family disappeared around the time of the bombardment. The administrator rebuilt it, and now this is our center of government. I know it doesn't look like much, but there aren't many settlers that live on this planet. This building is the start of something new for us. We're very proud of it. We're working on it. Is there anything else you'd want to talk about? She was the agricultural administrator of Dantooine. After the Sith attack, she kept us together. Without her, the only thing you'd see around here are mercenaries. We had problems with Mandalorian mercenaries even before the Jedi Civil War. The Jedi helped clear most of the problem up, but after the war, many soldiers from both sides of the conflict became mercenaries. And since we're so far from the core, some started gathering here. The difference between an out-of-work mercenary and a raider is a vibroblade's edge. The only thing we can prove they've done is intimidate a few farmers. The farmers give them goods, money, or food just to stay on their good side. The only one that isn't scared of them is the administrator. There have also been a lot of disappearances recently, and not all of them can be blamed on Cath hounds. But nobody can prove the mercenaries are responsible. A farmer here and there, or a family. We lost enough people during the war that keeping the Cath hound and Kinrath populations under control hasn't been possible. So there are a lot of animal attacks. Some deaths, too. The disappearances might be just coincidence, but a lot of the stubborn folk seem to be more accident-prone. Have you ever sliced a Jedi security door? The old ruins are secure from salvagers unless they get permission from Adare. Just head into the building and you'll find your way to the administrator. I'll be over by the entrance if you need anything else.
What do you want? I don't have time for cursed salvagers. Well, you don't look like a damn mercenary, and you don't smell like a stinking farmer. Why else would you be here? If you're not a salvager, then I don't even want to know why you'd go to the Enclave. Nothing but rumor. They say the spirits of the angry dead haunt the ruins. On a quiet night, you can hear the ghosts howling and scraping around. Oh, you know, the folks around Khoonda. Go there yourself and get the details firsthand. You'll find the Khoonda outpost just outside the landing port. Is this going to take long? I'm busy, you know. Salvagers are a crazed lot of treasure hunters, looking to loot something of value from the ruins of the Jedi Enclave. Most of them end up broke or dead. If you ask me, anything of value that was in the Enclave has already been plundered. Is this going to take long? I'm busy, you know. Not sure what they're doing here other than causing trouble. There's not really much work here for mercenaries. Maybe they're here to collect the bounty on that Jedi. I don't know for sure, but that's what they say. Is this going to take long? I'm busy, you know. Can't you tell? I'm a mechanic. In fact, I'm the only mechanic here in Khoonda. I'm responsible for maintaining everything mechanical or electrical at the Khoonda outpost. Yeah, sometimes it seems nothing works around here, but I don't have time to complain. Too much work to do. You're right. Well, between the droids, the security doors, and the gun turrets, I have my hands full. All of the droids in Khoonda are relics from the last war. Most of them are damaged and rusted. Best I could do was get that ratchety old protocol droid over there operational so it could greet visitors. Most of the other droids are laying broken around Khoonda Outpost. Well, it's just one door, actually, but I could scratch my head bald before I figured out how to fix it proper. Problem is, the side security door to Khoonda was damaged in the war. Every time I try to fix it, the door either sticks open or it locks down completely. And then I have to spend a week taking it apart to get it to open or close again. The gun turrets outside the Khoonda outpost are supposed to defend against potential assaults, wild critters and the like. But they only work half the time. And sometimes they get confused as to what's friend and foe. Why, just the other day, right after I repaired one of the guns, it turned on a sorry group of militiamen returning from a patrol. No casualties, but it put several of them in the med lab. And I can't seem to fix the blasted medical droid either.
Hey, get away from that door! The last time somebody messed with it, it was locked down for months before we could fix it.
Charanana gundoso remina ke lorakto guru katpada. Fiadratore pada no ringatel camarada telefibu numbu de bitarana cenirara. Manama treto sobre barakto drun. Cresce mentre grebavano flank tour na saganich. Grave no cu se debate. Trawinsto soprattutto nell'iep green patato. Trawinsto busuto nell'iep gran patata. Teleronda nana nintolo gradatira. Der winterunto wakere kwe wap gerebu. Ninso telepachan korsada nane gra dall'unuta choloren. Charanana gundoso remina che l'orakto kuro kattada. Fiadoratore padano ringatel camarada telefibo nubo de bicarana cenirara. Charanana gundoso remina che l'orakto kuro kattada. Fiadoratore padano ringatel camarada telefibo nubo de bicarana cenirara. Der winterunto wakere kwe wapa teratana chingaradana. Ferrar padano de ringtada nel camera telefibo nubo dat. Dosene karamalak blur incidenara mel rebe chinchin kranaktada. Der winterunto wakere kwe wap gerebu. Ninso telepachan korsada nane gra dall'unuta choloren. Terewana jun konata della raguno tunna. Dai rinturun kawre kare papanala ranchinga. Derace wemeno totorere senisensen. Der winterunto wakere kwe wap gerebu. Ninso telepachan korsada nane gra dall'unuta choloren. Der winterunto wakere kwe wapa teratana chingaradana. Ferrar padano de ringtada nel camera telefibo nubo dat. Dosene karamalak blur incidenara mel rebe chinchin kranaktada. Der winterunto wakere kwe wap gerebu. Ninso telepachan korsada nane gra dall'unuta choloren. Terewana jun konata della raguno tunna. Dai rinturun kawre kare papanala ranchinga. Derace wemeno totorere senisensen. Der winterunto wakere kwe wap gerebu. Ninso telepachan korsada nane gra dall'unuta choloren. Der winterunto wakere kwe wapa teratana chingaradana. Ferrar padano de ringtada nel camera telefibo nubo dat. Dosene karamalak blur incidenara mel rebe chinchin kranaktada. Der winterunto wakere kwe wap gerebu. Ninso telepachan korsada nane gra dall'unuta choloren. Terewana jun konata della raguno tunna. Dai rinturun kawre kare papanala ranchinga. Derace wemeno totorere senisensen.
Do you actually believe a Jedi would return here? After all they've done to us? They wouldn't dare.
They certainly would. You remember how they were. Always so superior, so arrogant, and never lending a hand when we really needed them.
I still don't believe it.
You should. My cousin's friend, he used to tend the gardens around the Enclave. He swears he saw a Jedi in Khoonda. Could be hiding anywhere.
Well, I hope it's true. I hear there's a bounty on them, and we could certainly use the money.
Unless somebody beats you to it.
The salvagers keep coming here and bothering the militia. That Garavik is the worst of them.
Welcome to Khoonda. You're a salvager, right? You'll need to see Administrator Adare to get access to the ruins. If you need directions to anything else, just ask. Garavik is a salvager, the worst one of the lot. Try to stay clear of him. He's a dangerous one to cross. Her office is directly behind this room. You really can't miss it. She can see you now if you like. You're not. The only heavily armed people that visit us are either salvagers or mercenaries. And you don't look quite gritty enough to be a mercenary. The things that would most interest you are our weapon merchant Anzeron, the leader of our militia. Akere is still around here somewhere too. He sells droid components. Just go to the central corridor and make a right. His shop is the first on the right. If you get into any trouble, he's the person you'd contact. Unfortunately, recent problems with the salvagers and mercenaries have kept him quite busy. The mercenaries cause disruptions for some of our outlying settlers. They are a constant source of friction for us. I hear the salvagers are having some internal problems too. We hope it will become the new center of government for the settlers. The Administrator has been trying to organize us in the wake of the Jedi Civil War. We're a small group of settlers on the edge of Republic space. The building isn't large, but it's only the beginning.
Your luck is not of the hapless settler. You are the newcomer that lands in a battered ship, yes. No friendly greetings are here for you. Many of the weak are skilled in manners, but I am not weak. Do not seek to insult me again. I am done being inconvenienced by you.
A lot of people here hate Jedi, but when they were here, they tried helping us. I don't blame them.
Are you waiting for the Administrator too? You won't have to wait too long. But if you want results, now that you may never get here. Khoonda's like a droid without his power cell. Useless. We have problems all over, and the most you can get out of the Administrator is a pat in the back. I'm sick of all their excuses and empty words. I need justice now. I fought in the war, and I know how to use my blaster rifle. If the Administrator or Zeron doesn't do something, then I will. Salvagers are the problem. They strip bare the ruins that belong to the people of Dantooine. Then they sell what they find back to us at inflated prices. I'm not a violent man. I've had my share of it in the war. I sincerely hoped I could just hang my blaster rifle on the wall as a souvenir for my grandchildren. But I can't farm without my equipment. Well, yes and no. I brought my moisture vaporator to Khoonda to be serviced. On the way back to my farm, I took a shortcut next to the Enclave ruins. Damn Lagrix came out of nowhere. I had to run before they made a meal of me. When I returned to retrieve my equipment, the salvagers had already stripped it bare. I went to their camp to get back my moisture evaporator. This smug fellow Joran told me that he found it within the ruins, and by law, it belongs to him now. He said he'd give it to me for the bargain price of 500 credits. I wasn't very happy about it, but the law was on his side. So I paid this scoundrel. Now the moisture evaporator doesn't work because it is mysteriously missing its modulator. Joran is offering to sell me a modulator he found for another 500 credits. I suppose you could. Actually, you almost look like a salvager. If you could go to this salvager camp and convince the salvager Joran to return my modulator, I would be very grateful. I'm not rich, but I have some souvenirs from the war I could give you. It's right next to the ruins of the Jedi Enclave. Just follow the smell. You can't miss them. That's great. I'm certainly not getting any help around here. If you need to know anything more, just ask me.
What brings you to Khoonda? Do you have any troubles to report? I'm here to help. I just hope you aren't here about Garevik. You haven't? Well, that's something. I'm the second in command over here, and we keep getting incidents. Our staff is stretched thin. Too thin. If you do have trouble, I'm not the one to talk to. You need to talk to Zeron. He takes a hands-on role as the militia captain. This is sensitive. It's not really a secret, though. A lot of people are upset with Zeron. He's a hard man and doesn't answer to anybody. Except, I suppose, the administrator. The thing is, he expects everyone to follow all the laws. That's not normally a bad thing, but the mercenaries are used to having a bit more freedom. So it's like Zeron keeps prodding a rancor with a stun stick. To a rancor, it's just a minor nuisance. But if you keep at it, he's gonna fight back. The mercenaries aren't unreasonable. They're mostly just war veterans looking for work. But Zeron just keeps poking them. So he has to get involved to make sure that the militia does what he wants. Otherwise, we'd probably give the mercenaries some room. It's tricky. You see, I think Zeron may be taking this whole thing a little personal. I'm not sure. Just a guess. I also think he's doing more to provoke them than just investigating every complaint against them hard. He's up to something. If someone could just ask a few questions, turn up some answers, maybe see if Zeron isn't being completely honest with the rest of us, well then maybe he should be replaced. Just look around. See if Zeron's up to something on the side. Something that'll hurt the fragile peace we got with the mercenaries. So if you happen to find something out like that, you should see Administrator Adare. If you have to do some footwork to check into things, you'll be compensated. We should probably talk about something else. I hate going behind the captain's back. I just feel... I just have a feeling about it. I don't even want to get into it. Ask around if you want to know the details. It'll just make my headache worse if I talk about it. I don't know what we'd do without Administrator Adare. She managed to plow through a lot of the family bickering once the Sith left during the war. She's kept us together. Oh, and, Zeron too, I suppose. All right, stay out of trouble now.
I'm the militia captain here. Are you here because you're in trouble or looking for it? Talk to Baroon first. If your situation needs militia involvement, he'll send you my way. You got any other reason for coming to militia headquarters? There are better places to explore and better people to know. I'm sure you have your reasons, though. I'm sure you got questions of your own. And if you're interested, I might have some work for you. You want something? I've seen a lot of visitors come through Khoonda. You're the first one in a while that looks the capable sort. We have a small problem with Kinrath. Maybe you've already seen some of them. They're coming from a cave in the Khoonda plains. I'd take care of it myself, but there aren't many people in the militia. We'd lose too many men. There's a reward if you do it. Kinrath are normally just pests. We think something happened to their nest. Started near the end of the Civil War. Nobody knows for sure. Even the Ithorian. And they're smart about such things. Very. The Kinrath you see on the plains aren't as tough as the ones inside the caves. They may not look much different, but they are tough. Kinrath are normally just pests. We think something happened to their nest. Started near the end of the Civil War. Nobody knows for sure. Even the Ithorian. And they're smart about such things. We used some explosives to seal a cave a couple years back. Just made them angrier. They burrowed another entrance even closer to us. I know there are crystals in there too. Some of the salvagers once thought about going in there to get some extra credits. Too many Kinrath, though. Cave is on the southeast side of the plains. Shouldn't be hard to find. That's all I can ask. You want something? Some of the salvagers went deep into the ruins and found a lot of Jedi relics. It's the most valuable haul the salvagers ever got. But all the salvagers that went down there are dead. So it seems every day or so some salvager comes claiming they're owed by such and such, or that they're related. The whole thing makes me sick. Garvik says he won the whole claim in a Pazak game with the last survivor, right before he killed him. But that was a fair fight. There were witnesses. But nobody remembers Garvik ever playing Pazak. I just hope someone takes this blasted claim off my hands. I'm tired of those lowlives pestering me. We've got real work to do. You want something? He did he? What's this about? So he's asked you to go looking into what I'm up to? If I didn't need every last man here. Appreciate. All right, I can use your help. But you can't tell anyone. There's a mercenary captain near what's left of the Jedi Enclave's courtyard. His name is Dopak. Just tell him that I said, go ahead. That's all. You have questions, but it's like this conversation never happened, got it? Just do it. It'll help out Khoonda. We can talk more later.
A visitor. Please, come in. Welcome to Khoonda. I am Administrator Terena Adare. You're the owner of the, ship that just landed? Depending on your business here, the pleasure may be mutual, but you didn't answer my question. Is that ship yours? I meant no disrespect at all. It is in fact a remarkable vessel. And unless I'm much mistaken, that's the Ebon Hawk. That vessel has been on Dantooine before, during the war. That was a Jedi vessel. That is an unfortunate truth, and a wise request, which of course I will honor. Most settlers here hold bitter memories of the Sith occupation. Right or wrong, our settlers blame the Jedi and their hidden enclave for their suffering. I remember the old Jedi Masters and the considerable help they lent to Dantooine. I still maintain discreet connections with Jedi. I suppose your arrival here is no coincidence. My friend, let's just call him Frook. We've known each other for many years, and our continued friendship could create many problems in the current political climate. He came to Dantooine not too long ago. He was looking into something quite important. He's gone missing recently. Did he send for you in case something went wrong? Vrook and I had a mutually beneficial arrangement for several weeks. He went to the Jedi Enclave sublevel recently and hasn't returned. I know the sublevel is dangerous. I'm starting to fear the worst. Would you be willing to go to the ruins of the Enclave to look for him? We are fortunate that you've come. Don't expect it to be easy, though. Things rarely are with Jedi. I will have one of the militia transmit permissions to the Enclave's security door. Go expecting danger, for you will most certainly find it there. Is there anything else I can assist you with? I have no doubt that Barun means well, but I have every confidence in Zeron. I would ask you to ignore anything Barun asked of you. He doesn't see the full scope. What have you learned, Jedi? Forgive me if I seem to doubt your word, but I won't impugn Zeron on the basis of hearsay. So unless you have any physical evidence... I hope that you haven't run into any difficulties you couldn't deal with. Is there anything else I can assist you with? There are plenty of opportunities to assist people on Dantooine. Too many, I'm afraid. I would go to the militia headquarters and make your intentions known there. Besides that, just listen and ask around. To most people in the galaxy, the distinction between Sith and Jedi is a blurry one. especially since most Sith were once Jedi. It is complicated by the fact that Malak and Revan were great heroes of the Republic and famed Jedi Knights. But a few years later, they were leading an armada which threatened everyone. And here on Dantooine, the Jedi Enclave provoked a brutal occupation by the Sith. It could have been far worse, but even now the damage has not been fully mended. I don't think everyone hates Jedi. If just a few people changed their minds or spoke up, it could make a great deal of difference. I think that we need the help of the Jedi. If the Jedi's reputation isn't redeemed, the consequences could be quite regrettable. Until then, I would keep your identity secret.
More where that came from. Take him down.
What? You shouldn't sneak up on an old fella like that. You shouldn't be out of here anyway. This is Kinrath territory. There was a time when seeing a Kinrath was a rare thing. They mostly were around some caves to the south of here. But now, they're everywhere. They're dangerous too. More vicious than they used to be. I'd stay away from the eastern side of the plains. And now that I think about it, stay away from the west, too. The west is filled with cat hounds. Dantooine is in a sad state these days. Mostly because the Republic has left us to fend for ourselves. I gave the Republic the best years of my life, and I understand they're under pressure. But I think that they'd be able to spare at least something to help us out. All we get is sympathy. Some law and order, for one thing. Take what I'm doing right now. A couple weeks back, there was an accident here. One of the Western Fringe farmers was coming to Khoonda on his swoop with a load of atmospheric sensors. We found him dead and his swoop bike all banged up. I've come back a couple of times to try to figure out if that's what really happened. I'm one of the Khoonda militia. They need all the able bodies they can get. I was a Republic custom inspector before I came back home. Now I'm the closest thing the militia's got to an investigator. I do. The Kinrath are dangerous, but as long as you stay on your swoop bike, there's no way they should catch you. I've carefully searched this area and haven't found anything. So maybe our man just got sloppy. We really need those atmospheric sensors.
But Dantooine is temperate. There is no need for atmospheric sensors except for seasonal data collection.
Huh? It's just important we get it back. They're expensive pieces of equipment, and we can't afford to replace them. Regardless, I don't suppose you'd be willing to keep an eye out for something. I just really need them. It's important. Please come to me if you find any of the atmospheric sensors. I'll pay you 1,000 credits for each one you find, whether they're broken or not. No idea whatsoever. I figure it's a real long shot you'd ever spot one, but I also figure it wouldn't hurt to ask.
This won't take long.
More where that came from.